In the heart of the beautiful West Yorkshire moorlands, an ex-British Rail branch line runs for 5 miles along the picturesque Worth Valley. Keeping alive an image of the bygone age of steam-powered travel, the Keighley and Worth Valley Railway is one of the leading lights in the British railway preservation movement. The progressive town of Keighley, the starting point of the complete branch line to the village of Oxenhope, lies 19 miles west of the city of Leeds and is readily accessible from comprehensive trans-Pennine motorway systems. The Worth Valley Railway, operated by the Keighley and Worth Valley Railway Preservation Society, was closed by British Railways in 1962 and reopened by the Society for passenger trains on the 29th of June 1968. Running between Keighley and Oxenhope, it has a great deal to offer the visitor that's interested in railways or simply enjoys an area that is rich in historical towns, villages and a literary heritage created by the Bronte sisters. Railway preservation has captured the interest and imagination of countless millions for over a quarter of a century. As a pioneer railway preservation society, our cameras set out to capture the sense of variety and achievement on this line. The events that take place in a preservation society's calendar make up the basis of this programme, which follows the progress of the railway as it undertakes several major projects. But it's not all hard, industrious work. Being a member of such a society has its lighter moments also, as we shall see later. In the Pennines, on a bleak midwinter's day, close to the summit of the famous Settle and Carlisle Railway's Long Drag, members of the Worth Valley Railway Society had gathered, awaiting the arrival of a British Railways works train. Garsdale was once the junction for a branch line to Hawes, and the site of the legendary Turntable that, on the 21st of December 1900, found a place in railway folklore. Steam locomotives that had assisted trains to 1,200 feet above sea level would be turned here and prepared for their next duty. Try to imagine the scene in the early hours of a winter's morning as a locomotive is being turned in the teeth of a howling gale. The fierce winds take hold of the turntable and locomotive, spinning them like a top. It took the combined efforts of firemen, driver and helpers over an hour to bring the turntable under control. Today, the 75-ton British Rail crane arriving from Carlisle is to tackle the removal of the turntable for transfer to a new working life at Keighley. Although the naked turntable only weighs about 16 tons, the lifting is a very delicate operation, as the crane has limited access from the main running line. This dictates that the jib will need to carry out the lift at full stretch. Anxious moods as the crane operator receives his instructions from the foreman. careful transfer to the rail wagon concludes a successful operation. Turntable is trundling south for Keighley over the Ribblehead Viaduct, storm clouds gathering in the background. The weather had, after all, been relatively kind. At Keighley, the old Midland Railway turntable pit had been filled in with ash about 30 years ago and was having to be reclaimed. The turntable, shot blasted and painted, is ready for installation on the 18th of November 1989. Haworth Yard, the railway's own 50-ton steam crane is marshalled as the works train is prepared and heads north to Keighley, where the volunteers skillfully complete the restoration of a legend.
Centre now. One more.
The Worth Valley Railway was the first to introduce the concept of a spring enthusiasts weekend, with plenty of locomotive activity. This was seen as a target following winter maintenance and a low-season attraction in the railway's calendar. The 1st of April 1990 saw stirring sights by locomotives ranging from the 116-year-old Bellerophon to greyhounds like Bahamas and the visiting Great Marquis. An early starter on a misty morning was Ginty 47279, calling at Haworth and continuing to Oxenhope. Keighley, later in the day, Bahamas, a 460 Jubilee-class locomotive, built by the North British Company in 1935 and bought by the Bahamas Locomotive Society in 1968, is made ready for its run to Oxenhope. In the head shunt, the Keighley Damems shuttle service waits its turn of duty. A brief call is made at the diminutive Damems station before continuing on to Haworth and Oxenhope. The shuttle service, seen arriving at Ingrove, provides an interesting railway diversion, giving the visitors a chance to enjoy a locomotive combination that's not possible during normal timetable operation. Today, headed by the delightful Bellerophon, built in 1874 at the Haydock Foundry, St Helens, the shuttle sets off for Damems. Bringing up the rear is the American-built locomotive number 30072, affectionately known as Little Jim. The Dinting and Great Marquis number 3442 arrive Keighley Platform 4 at the start of 3442's duties for the day. We pick it up later as it confidently emerges from Ingrove Tunnel, southbound and on through Oakworth. Towards the end of the day, 3442 was required to work light engine from Keighley to Ingro to collect the privately preserved Northeastern Saloon that had been visiting the railway and was on show in the Vintage Carriages Museum. With the Northeastern Saloon in the formation, 3442 calls once more at Ingro. An unusual view of Great Western pannier tank number 5775, having its boiler tested after a major overhaul, graphically illustrates the demanding nature of preserving a steam locomotive in safe working order. Number 5775 was built in 1929 and, after working on British Railways, was bought by the London Underground and renumbered L89. Coming to the Worth Valley in the early 60s, it performed well for a number of years before being withdrawn as the boiler was in need of a major overhaul. At that time, locomotives were still available from Barry Scrapyard, and the decision was taken to see if there was another pannier tank with a boiler in better condition. Number 4612 was purchased. Its boiler, now overhauled, is here being tested before taking its place in 5775's frames. The frames, containing the complex motion, had also been overhauled and are here being moved out of the sheds into a position to facilitate the replacement of the boiler. This provides us with a view of the motion not normally visible to our cameras. Ian Stocks, Cornhill Insurance Inspector, explains their requirements of the boiler tests.
And we'll take the boiler up very gently to its normal working pressure, perhaps just test the safety valve for a few seconds and then let it quietly cool off again before it's returned to its frames, and then we will obviously do another steaming test then.
As the boiler pressure rises, volunteers look on, waiting for the safety valves to lift. Was the test successful? Loco caretaker Tim Hansen explains.
Ian Stocks, Cornhill boilerman's passed it A-OK. We've just got a bit of sorting out to do, and then boiler's going back in frame soon as we can. Won't be long till it's running again.
5775, synonymous with the feature film The Railway Children, is ready for playing its part again in celebrations to mark the 20th anniversary of a film that helped to promote the fortunes of the Worth Valley Railway.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Celebrations took the form of street theatre, where amateur actors and actresses performed cameos of scenes from the film on Oakworth Station.
Come along, children. Give that one to me, thank you. Right, can you manage? Bit deeper. Excuse me? Excuse me? We want to go to the house on the hill. The Three Chimneys. Do you know where it is?
Ah, dare say.
Well, will you show us the way then?
Ah, dare say.
Oh, good. Well, we'll just put these boxes on. Oh! Oh dear, come along.
Oh, Bob, I can see somebody in here.
I think you're locking him up.
How do you do?
Hey?
How do you do?
Yes, yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Well, it does depend what it is, doesn't it? I haven't got all time to be conversationalising with the junior public. Now, what is it?
Do you know anything about engines?
Do you want to know anything about engines? Why?
Because I've got one.
Yeah, I know, but what gauge?
Well, I don't know anything about gauges, but it's about this big. It's brass and it blew up.
It blew up? Well, look, you have to excuse me, old man, because I'm very busy, because you see, Station Master's gone to Leeds to have his hair cut, and Perks must be about it.
Perks? Who's Perks?
Me, sir, I'm Perk. And I'll deal with this if you don't mind.
Pomogите mnie, пожалуйста.
Try him with French then, if you know so much about it, clever Dick.
Parlez-vous français, monsieur?
Ah, merci, mon petit.
Now that's French.
What's he say?
Well, look, never mind about that, ladies and gentlemen. Can we just move right down the platform, please, if you don't mind? I'll deal with this gentleman. Just take a minute to wait. Excuse me, please. If you wouldn't mind.
Пожалуйста.
Hello, Ma mère. Bonjour, monsieur. Qu'êtes-vous?
Madame, le monsieur Szczepanski. Szczepanski.
Oh, Szczepanski.
Da.
Daddy! My daddy!
20 years on, can still produce that famous flag-waving flourish. Early in 1990, it was announced the Dinting Railway Centre was having to close, and negotiations had been successfully completed with the Worth Valley Railway to create a new base at Ingrove in conjunction with the Vintage Carriages Trust. Together with the recently rebuilt station, this would form a railway centre of excellence. Most of the Dinting Railway Centre's rolling stock and museum exhibits would have a new home with access to an operating railway. It would also mean that the Society's flagship locomotive, number 45596 Bahamas, would be conveniently stabled close to British Railways, where from time to time it hauls special trains over the famous Settle and Carlisle line. Easter was the final occasion when the Dinting Railway Centre was open to the public. Tiny, an Andrew Barclay 040 built in 1949, worked in the Bradford Gasworks, Manchester. When no longer required, the locomotive was donated to the Society by the North Western Gas Board. Tiny now prepares to give brake van rides. As the day grows busier, Nunlow, a Hudswell Clark built in 1930 and bought by the Society in 1969 from the Earl's Cement Company, arrives to share the workload. The electro-pneumatic point work that had been installed was the only operating example of this system of point control in the country. The attractive signal box from Rushton will find a place in Ingrove, where it can once more come to life.
Yeah, that's 32, the non-low. And number 19, which is a lower aspect signal, just out there.
Simon, looking around the Dinting Railway Centre today, I'm extremely impressed with all the lovely things I see, but at the same time, I feel it must be sad for you that here you are at the end of an era.
Yes, I think it is a sad day for us. The last day of anything is a sad day, but at the same time, I realise that we can't stay here any longer, and we've got to look to the future.
Right.
And one door closes, another one opens, and that's what I think our future is at Keighley. Strangely, about 3 years ago, when the coal tank was invited to run on the Keighley and Worth Valley Railway, during that summer, we got to know quite a lot of your members, and really that's how this new chapter of our life began.
Graham, I've just been talking to Simon about the situation that has developed here in Dinting, and it was very impressed with the fact that it's a sad day for him, but in fact the way he put it was, one door closes and another one opened, And he thinks the opening of the Worth Valley Railway door is an enormous opportunity for them.
The Worth Valley Railway has been through many phases, and I think any organisation rises to challenges, and we certainly hope to rise to this one. You see, both railways were founded in the 1960s, and we've been around a long time and we've achieved a lot, and I think one of the nice things is that we both respect each other's achievements on our respective sites, and with that sort of mutual respect and that sort of pedigree, I think it's perhaps a great fillip for the whole independent railway movement, that two such societies can come together and work together and produce something which actually wasn't there before.
Complementary to the centre was this delightful miniature railway, operated by the Buxton Model Engineer Society. And sadly, it too has to go. The site at Ingro, where the Bahamas Locomotive Society will make its new home. The boilers, yard crane and spoil cleared, work progresses with track laying in readiness for the arrival of the BLS stock. In the background can be seen the already established Vintage Carriages Museum. The old Midland Railway goods shed requires extensive restoration before the Society's workshops can be installed. To mark the enormous achievement of two major preservation societies amalgamating their ideals and objectives, the Worth Valley Railway organised a Welcome to the Bahamas Locomotive Society weekend on the 27th and 28th of October 1990. The programme would contain a parade of some of the BLS locomotives that had arrived in their new home. The London North Western Railway coal tank, built in Crewe in 1888 and owned by the National Trust, was originally on view at Penrhyn Castle, North Wales. It was handed over on permanent loan to the BLS in time for them to overhaul it ready for the Rainhill Trials 150th celebrations. Today, 1024 is seen coupling up to Bahamas, outside Haworth Yard, to double head to Keighley. With the earlier mists having lifted, but still leaving the railhead greasy, Bahamas, departing Keighley for Oxenhope, is having to use its steam-operated sanders to prevent slipping. Gliding into Ingro, this superbly restored locomotive is captured at ease with its new surroundings. Bahamas is seen at various stages and with different train formations, as it effortlessly delights visitors and train crews. At Damem's Junction, the fireman emerges from a steam ball to hand a single-line token to the signalman. And we take our leave of Bahamas and follow Ginty number 47279 and P3 number 2392's contributions to the welcome weekend. Number 2392 pulls into Ingro with a formation that includes kitchen and restaurant cars which provide meals throughout the day. 2392, visiting the Worth Valley for a period, was built in Darlington in 1923 to a 1906 Wilson Wurzel design. It was withdrawn from British Railways in 1967 and purchased by the Northeastern Locomotive Preservation Group. After extensive restoration, it entered service on the North Yorkshire Moors Railway in 1971. The P3 eases its train into Oakworth in conditions it would find very different the next day. Two 392 is next seen above Haworth, only a few minutes from Oxenhope. teaming up with the coal tank, stirs the blood as they gamely make for Damers. And we see them on 3 different workings. Near Mytholm's tunnel, the coal tank works bunker first after demonstrating the turntable operation at Keighley.
Mr. Chairman, your society has chosen to share something of this superb locomotive with us, and we would like you to take, as a token of our friendship and as a mark of the genuine affection which is already developing between our members and your members, the smaller version of it, which we'd like you to put in your at your meeting, wherever you decide now to base the society. So that's a token of affection from us, and thank you. Welcome to work with us on the railway plan.
We're very grateful to the welcome you've given us, and I can assure you that we're going to work very hard to make Ingro a wonderful place on the Worth Valley line. Thank you very much.
On Sunday, the 28th of October, after the official welcome, we can enjoy again the steam and sounds of Bahamas in the Worth Valley mists, finishing with fast deteriorating weather conditions as the locomotive approaches Oxenhope. Faces strong winds and rain. Opposite Haworth Loop, heading for Oxenhope, 2392 punches its way through a cloud of steam created by the BLS locomotive Tiny. As its crew, familiarization training, learn something of the capricious nature of Haworth Yard. In the final part of the programme, we ask Nick and Tim why the pannier tank is out midweek in winter on a non-passenger carrying train.
Well, we had the main steam pipes, which are in the smoke box, were found to be leaking at a routine washout, and when we tried to correct the leak, we found that they wouldn't tighten up, so we ended up having to fiddle about with bits of thin copper and so on to seal it, and we had about 3 goes at it, and finally we got it tight, and so today we're using it, giving it a bit of a load just to see if the things are working satisfactorily. So,
It's got to work under pressure, has it, to really make sure?
well, we've tried it under pressure, but we want to really sort of give it a bit of a day out,
Right.
and see if that proves that everything's bottle tight.
Everything satisfactory? The repairs okay?